Fitzgerald rising! Fitzgerald rising! Why am I so happy? Hi everyone, I'm going to react to Bungo Stray Dogs Season 3 Episode 7, Fitzgerald Rising. Last episode was basically closure storylines for Kyoka and Asushi. Kyoka because she learned basically what happened to her parents, and then Asushi because the master of the orphanage was killed, and apparently he was doing all the mistreatments and whatnot just to make sure that Asushi doesn't hate himself and hate him instead. I don't know, that was just weird. So yeah, that's what happened last episode. And before we get into this one, if you guys have my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please consider supporting my Patreon at patreon.com/feelingmini. And now let's start this episode, and here we go. This was such a good and funny episode. I loved it. Oh my goodness. You know, the character of Francis last season, it's not like I hated him, but I didn't particularly care about him. I didn't like him. But this episode made him so much more likable, man. I'm like, okay, Louisa has been looking for him, right? Because apparently she cannot go on without him. You know, she needs him to order her to do stuff for him and whatnot. And then she went to the city. That city with the crater and, you know, where Truya did his, you know, the first time around and whatnot. That's where he was hiding, sort of. And then Louisa found him and he's like, give me 50 cents or something or other like that. And she said, if I give it to you, will you hear my wish? I think that's what she said. Okay. Will you hear my wish? That's what she said. You know, during the whole reaction, I'm like, what was the wish again? Like, it didn't quite. It wasn't until I started thinking about this episode that I found out understood what they were talking about. She was like, when he said that I didn't say I will grant you your wish. I said I will hear it or something or other like that. I'm like, okay, so what was the wish again and all that? It was only after the episode ended. I'm like, wait a second. It was all explained in the episode. It was all in the episode. Like, she was like, okay, when I give you the 50 cents, will you hear my wish? In her case, she's thinking, okay, grant me a wish. But no, she actually said, hear your wish. And that wish was for him to give her orders again. And he's like, you know, I'm done. They explained how he was able to survive after he spent all the money that he had, and then he was flown overboard. The wedding ring that he had was basically, I guess, the only thing of value that he still had, and that was what was used, I guess, to protect him, to keep him from dying. So he's like, you know what, I'm done. You know, I lost my money, I lost my status and all of that, but she didn't care about that. And he's like, you know what, you want me to give you an order, I'm going to give you an order. Never step in front of me again or something. I never show up in front of me again. Something like that, along those lines. She, of course, was going to obey that, but then she got, you know, those people that, you know, attacked the coffee shop and all of that the agency went and took care of them so beautifully. They encircled her, and because she was the strategist of the guild, they were like, okay, she probably knows where the guild's holdings or whatever are. And she's like, I don't know anything. Even if I do, I'm not going to tell you guys anything. I'm just like, the guy took out his plier or whatever that he uses to pull out the nails of people and was about to torture her with that, but she didn't care because, you know, with Francis not giving her the time of day, I feel like she lost all kinds of motivation. She didn't have anything to go on with, you know, so she didn't care if she died or not. But I knew Francis was going to show up there, man. And he did, and he used the 50 cents that she gave him, I guess, to, his strength, and punch him. And then he's like, okay, I need all the valuable stuff that you have on you. And he's like, okay, you may have them, but apparently it wasn't much. And I'm thinking, you were able to attack all those people with the energy like it wasn't much. I'm like, oh, really? And with that, oh, no. Before she gave him everything that she had, she asked him, if I give it to you, will you grant my wish? And he's like, yeah. So after that was done, now it was time to basically rebuild the guild. When they go to the headquarters and they went into the room, he thought she bought the whole building when it was just like one room. And also she said that the only way she can only use her ability if she's alone in her room by herself. And apparently she can't use the information that she gathers or whatever can't be based on existing information. So I guess she's looking into the future. I'm not totally sure exactly how her ability works, but she came up with strategies, right, for him. And it started with him going after this professor or something or other that created the eyes of God. And he said he wanted him. The guy was accused of killing his friend by the very system that he created, the eyes of God. But he's like, I didn't do it, even though it showed that he was him. He's like, I didn't do it. And Francis is like, I don't care, I'm gonna make you innocent. And was he gonna give him 100,000? I don't know. And the guy went. How did that conversation end? I forgot. But he wound up going to the company that the guy was working for. Let me look at his name because I feel like he's gonna be like basically like an important member of the new guild that is being formed. Oh yeah, he mentioned something about breaking the chains of something before. Let me see. Oh yeah, he wanted to buy the government agency, basically the people that Ango works for. He wanted to buy like the whole thing, and because of that, he needs money. And then that's where I guess Louisa came up with all these strategies to acquire the amount of money that he needs, $50 billion. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. Like the objective was to find the book, right? And then he said that the book was sealed in the area, and that in order to find the book and break the seals. Okay. That's why he needs the money. Okay. Okay, let me go back to what I was originally looking for. The way he just walked into the neighbor's room and just sat down and started laughing. I'm like, are you kidding me? And then the neighbor even was like, just looking at him like, not saying anything. What the heck? T.J. Eckelberg. Oh, okay. I was so wrong. He wanted the patent to the eyes of God. That's why he went to Eckelberg. He was gonna pay 200,000 for it, but then he went to the company, and then the guy he told the company that I'm gonna make Eckelberg innocent because it's not gonna be good for your company. Like the person that created this thing that worked for you to be involved in a murder. And the guy's like, I don't care about him. And Francis is like, so you don't even care about your employees and all of that. And then he got up and left. Last season, I'm like, there was a point in the season that I'm like, okay, does Francis actually care about the people that are working for him, or is he just using them up as pawns? But his reaction here shows that he actually cares, or that he values the people that work for him. So that's the answer to my question back then. So he he got out of that meeting, and then he's like, okay, this guy knows something. About the murder and everything, and he gave Louisa the task to figure out what the guy knows and everything. And they were gonna go to the agency, and Paul. So I guess is Paul working with Rumple? Not Rumple. The guild. I know he was part of the guild, and then the guild sort of like was dismembered, but now there's this new guild that's forming. And when Francis told Louisa to, like, he knows someone that can basically solve the investigation, and then you see Paul go to Rumple and basically giving him the case. It must mean that Paul is still working with the guild, right? But either way, he took the info to Rumple, and Rumple figured it out. And the thing is that the president of the company, I guess, the owner of the company owner, either way, he was the one that killed the guy. The guy worked, wrote a backdoor or something into the code where you can basically trick the camera. Like, if you kill somebody, you can put somebody else's face in there to, frame that person. That guy wrote it, and then he killed the dude, and framed Eckerberg for it. And Francis went to the president, right? And he's like, okay, I know you did this, so you gave me money, and then I'm gonna make sure that Eckerberg is convicted of his murder. And I'm like, for real? You're gonna do that? Like, I didn't really see him doing it. And then when he just showed up in the courtroom, also so dramatic, and like everywhere I go is my... What exactly did he say? I don't know. But he made this comment that's basically, I do whatever I want kind of comment. And then he recorded the conversation that him and that president had, and then he played it in the courtroom. And because of that, people in the courtroom will know that this guy is innocent, and people all around the city, the world, either way, will know that the president is the one behind the murder. So the company stock, it was like dropping rapidly. So, and then Francis scooped the company up, and now Eckerberg is working for him. And he said that he wanted to use the eyes of God to find a certain person. Who? At one point, I thought it might be Fyodor, because they showed him briefly in the episode, and he said that something... He was dropping his blood into a cup, a glass. For what? I don't know. And then he was telling somebody that it was almost time or something. I don't know. What did he say? Don't worry, it's almost complete. What is almost complete? I don't know. I don't know how all these different storylines are gonna merge. I guess. I don't know. You have Asushi that's basically the key to finding this book. How? I don't know. Fyodor is looking for the book. You have Francis also looking for the book. Now Francis is trying to use the eyes of God to look for someone. Who? I don't know. I don't know where all these different parts are going. I don't know. He punched the president. I loved it. The title of the episode was that the Fitzgerald Rising, and I'm like, what's Fitzgerald again? Is it Francis's last name? But it's the ability, the Great Fitzgerald. That's his ability. I completely forgot about it. I loved it, man. Like, I really did. I love Francis this episode, and then his obsession with like deals, like with sales and pots and stuff. He's like, oh, I'm so used to buying a whole store or whatever. And now he's like, oh my God. And he's even buying the pots, but he doesn't even cook with it. It's just because it's like, it's a bargain. He just goes around and like, oh my goodness. That's so funny. And now he has the company, and then Eckelberg is working for him. And of course Louisa as well. So who else is gonna join? I don't know. We'll see. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to see my reaction to the next episode, you can do so by checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/feelmini, and you can also see the full link for this reaction there as well. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. そぶにくらい尽くして